Hello.
Hello.
How are you, AJ?
I'm very good, Kerrie. How are you going tonight?
I'm good. I'm really good. I'm really pleased to have you here as my co-host tonight.
Oh, you know me. I love a good join in. I love a good chat.
And, whilst Annie is away, we get to play. Shh, don't dob on us, anyone.
We've been very, very good.
Oh, dear. It's been a lot of fun, though, and I hope Annie's having a marvellous time anyway. Hi, Wendy. I hope you're doing well with the puppies. And hello to our beautiful bubble girl. Thank you for joining us again tonight, helping out in the background. Where's the bell? No bell tonight. We're going rogue, Wendy.
We're out unsupervised, Kerrie and I.
Watch out.
A little bit exciting.
Hi, Sandy. How are you? Hi, Esther. How are you?
Before we start, Kerrie, can I actually say I'd like to wish a happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Absolutely.
All our dads who can't be with us. All the mums who are also dads.
Mm-hmm.
And just lots of love and happiness out there for everyone who's celebrating our Father's Day today, and send light and love to those who may not have their fathers with them today. So lots of light and love to you as well.
Yeah, it's one of those days, like I think about my dad a lot today, not being here. But, I still feel his energy around. I can still hear him saying to me, get on with it. Do what you need. He's a very practical man, very practical man. Like, I get used to get a lot of the broken Italian. What's the matter with you? Like, what's the matter with you? Get on with it. Stop it. Oh, dear.
Oh, thank you, Gail. I'll make sure that I tell him. He'll be very flattered.
And Tracy's here as well tonight. AJ, hi, Tracy. How are you?
I actually can't see everyone, Kerrie, so you'll have to keep me up to date.
Yeah, so Colleen will do a great job. She's sort of popping all the bubbles up for us, so you'll get to read at the bottom of the screen as we're going, and I'll let you know. That's for sure. So no, that's all good. All good. What was I was going to? Oh, of course, I remember. Yes. 2 quick shout outs, if you don't mind, before we get going tonight. First one is very happy birthday to our beautiful bubble girl, Colleen. It was her birthday during the week, and it was my absolute honour to be able to give her a Humana for her birthday.
Oh, how lovely.
We just want to thank you, Colleen, all the work you do behind the scenes every single week, what she puts into the show. I can't thank her enough. I just have so much gratitude and thanks for all her input. So although she doesn't like to get up here on camera, she's a bit shy to jump on camera with us. Just really wanted to make that shout out to her. And the other shout out, and I haven't seen her in here tonight, was Kathy Lee made a donation to our buyer coffees. So, which all of that goes towards paying for this streaming service. So I don't think I've seen her on here tonight, but I did want to mention that because I knew she definitely wasn't on last week. So we've got AJ and I sort of spoke during the week, didn't we, AJ, around what topic will we do this week? And we thought, you know what, we haven't really touched on dreams.
No.
But we also wanted to talk about fun. So we're doing a little bit of a combo thing tonight, aren't we, AJ?
A little bit of mix and match because we can, and because we haven't got our glorious overlord here tonight. And we can have sneaky fun.
Being a little bit. We absolutely can. So what we might do is we can see that a lot of people have now jumped in. AJ, I might just grab some background music for you because the beautiful AJ has got a beautiful meditation for us tonight. So I'll see if I can just play this just a little bit in the background for you. Not too loud. Maybe people can hear that. So let me know when you're ready to go with the meditation for tonight, and I'll hit the play on the music.
All right. Well, I think that we should start our night with a little bit of fun. So I'd love you to press play.
Okay.
Okay. So tonight, everybody, we're actually going to be doing a little work towards and with one of our angels that we haven't spoken about. We talk about our archangels, we talk about all our other angels that come and join us. But tonight, because we're looking for some fun, some happiness, some joy, some light-hearted moments, I thought that we'd do a meditation around our angel of fun. So if you're all ready, get comfortable, strap yourselves in. May not be the most peaceful of rides, but it will definitely be a little bit of fun. Okay, so everybody close your eyes and settle into a comfortable position. Breathe comfortably, but don't spend a lot of time focusing on your breathing. Just relax and sink into your comfortable position and feel your body unwinding. Take a deep breath. As you do this, realize that a wonderful energy has just entered into your awareness. This is a light energy, unlike any other you have ever experienced so far. This energy is bright and instantly uplifting. It literally dances around you and through you, making you want to laugh, making you want to smile. You feel yourself relax even more in the company of this new energy. You feel lighter, happier, and you can't stop smiling. Your angel of fun. And your angel of fun has come to lighten and brighten your day. Observe what your angel does. They may clown around or joke, or they may make you laugh. They may just dance in front of you. Perhaps they're even singing. Perhaps they want you to play a silly game with them. They may also be showing you something that you could introduce into your own life to enjoy more. Observe what they do without judging them. You might think that they're quite silly, or you might find them quite enchanting. You might find yourself wishing you were more like them, or realise that you are not like them. It doesn't matter what you think of them personally, as long as you enjoy their presence. They will stay in your awareness for a while, and then they may suddenly disappear without a reason. They can literally disappear in a puff of smoke or a flash of light, or vanish in the blinking of an eye. Angels of fun come and go, and usually very quickly because their energy is so light. They are not grounded in any way. I'll give you a little time now to spend with your angel of fun. It's now time to say goodbye to our angel. And when they have gone, give yourself time to ground into your body. You may find yourself wanting to laugh or just feel happy for a long time afterwards. Just readjust back to your earthly energy when you finish. You may have to work hard on all levels, but just remember, whenever you feel you are getting too bogged down with responsibilities, on whatever level it may be, take a few moments to stop, relax, and invite your angel of fun to bring light, love, joy, happiness, and their wonderful, mischievous energy into your awareness. Thank you, angel of fun. Make sure you thank your angels and tell them bye-bye. When you're ready,
Thank you, AJ.
I'm thinking your naughty little angel of fun was having way too much fun over there, Kerrie.
I was laughing because my angel of fun was mocking me a little bit. Some of you might remember I did this bit of a dance using the 888 frequency and a sparkler, doing my sigil from when I did Pelua, doing my personal sigil. And my angel was sort of doing that back at me. So it was all over the place, though. So.
Well, from my end, I could hear your angel was also just every now and then pressing pause on your recording, making it loud, making it soft, and giggling away.
Oh,
so
just I could hear the differences going on, and I was looking over going, what's going on? I was moving it thinking maybe I had it too close to the computer, but anyway,
That's what they do to us.
No, I know.
So yes, hopefully we feel a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, a little bit of zing. And I know it's nighttime, and I know we're supposed to be unwinding. However, now you know how to connect with your angel of fun. Don't be afraid to call on them, especially when you just need that little bit of effervescence.
Yeah, exactly. Just when you need that lift and to get back into that energy. And we were talking before about how important it is right now to be aware of the energy that we're sitting in, and also the protection that's around us at the moment. So much going on with the energy shift, and that's going to continue. And we talked about the equinox in March 2025 and how important that was next year. And Katrina Mann reaffirmed that as well. And we talked about the seeds of light last week for that equinox. But between now and then, we've got this real big flux. And those who are in this space, those who are doing this work, it's really important that we keep our energy up. So
perfect
don't succumb. Yeah, don't succumb to the little things. So that's a beautiful meditation to do to jump up. So
I don't think anyone will feel really relaxed tonight, but hey, lighthearted is what I'm aiming for.
That's it. Well, it's an interesting one tonight. So a lot of the things we can talk about with dreams is quite joyful, the majority of it. and can be quite fun, particularly decoding your dreams. So just wondering right now, is there anyone that we've got in chat at the moment that would say that they never, ever remember their dreams? Because I do have people that say to me, I just don't dream. But if you know the sleep cycle, right, there's actually 2 points in that cycle where we do, or we can dream, or we do dream. And both of them are in the deeper sleep. One's non-REM and one is REM. So there's 2 times in that cycle where we can actually dream. And we would normally, like on average, have about 6 dreams a night.
Wow.
Yeah, but the one that we tend to remember is one that we might be just coming out of just as we're reaching wakefulness in the morning, as we're just coming out of that last dream when the alarm goes off. If you really wanted to torture yourself, because that cycle sort of goes for like 90 minutes, right? 90-minute cycle in your dream cycle. You could continuously wake yourself up, right, through the night so you can remember your dreams. But just warning everyone, that was used as a form of torture. So I'm not actually recommending that.
I agree with the form of torture. Yes, anyone who's an insomniac, no. Myrtle says that if she dreams, she doesn't remember them.
Yeah, so look, you can put yourself in a mindset to remember your dreams. And that's partly sort of when you go to bed saying to yourself, I want to remember my dreams in the morning. And the thing is that it's just in that in-between stage between that sleep and just as waking up before you become fully awake, that if you just stay in that moment for a second, you can recall dreams, right? But then they fade really quickly after you're awake. So if you don't write them down really quickly, you will forget. You will forget. So, and Esther's saying she's a big dreamer. Hi, Fiona. Welcome. Where you missed AJ's little meditation with the fun angel, and we're just moving into talking about dreams. So yeah, so Fiona's saying she remembers if she wakes and tells the hubby first thing. That's right. So if you don't sort of write it down, even I've had times as well where I've gone, oh, I'll definitely remember that because it was something
Oh,
that stood out. And then an hour or 2 hours later, I'm going, I seriously can't remember what that was, even though at the time I really thought I'd remember it. So,
yeah.
yeah.
I've had a few dreams where I've actually, for example, rung my sister and said, right, you need to remember this, or you need to keep an eye out for this, because it's different types of dreams that we'll talk about tonight. But
Yeah.
unless I do that, and my problem is that I get to a stage and there are some really specific things that I remember because they're very, very clear. They are like crystal clear. And then other bits are really fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of things like that, I'll usually ring her and go, okay, I just had a dream. This is what, and
Yeah.
and different types of dreams that we'll talk about a little bit later are the ones where you actually wake up and you see something.
Yes.
I
Yes.
have a nasty habit of seeing things, which is very, very interesting. And they're usually two very specific things, and they usually wake me up very much, and then I'm awake.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
So look, there's so many different dreams. What I might do is just so I keep on track, because with this topic, we can I can either stay on track or I can talk about one thing for our entire time. So I'm going to try and be a good girl and stay on track with this. So I'm just going to add this up here so that everyone can sort of see this. And I just want to go into the first thing to talk about is the different types. And that's what we were just talking about, AJ. There are different types of dreams.
Yep.
So when we look at the types of dreams, there's one that you could call a standard format or a standard dream. And that dream itself is, it's really more like your day-to-day dream. You know, we're dreaming about things that we think, see, feel, maybe cannot express sometimes, you know.
Yep.
So we're expressing that within our dreams. What we want, what we don't want, you know, both of those can come out in the standard sort of dream. But the most important thing with standard dreams is to focus in on how you feel about it. How did the dream actually make you feel? Because that is going to be sort of really your guide as to, is this dream to actually make me face something that I didn't want to face, right? Is this dream about giving me an idea of what would really make me happy? Or sometimes it can be a problem-solving thing. So, like, I know that sometimes I've had, like, you know, this thing in my head, oh, I'm not sure, and I wake up and I've got the perfect idea, right,
Yep.
of how to do it. So sometimes it can be inspirational, but they're more your sort of standard format of dreams.
Yeah. And they're the ones that you want to write down the things in your notebook, because you go, and I'm a classic for that. I know that when I've got a lot on my plate at work, I'll actually be going over, and in my dreams, I'll actually be going through my work day as to the things I have to tackle. And then I'll think, I that's what I should have done. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Mm-hmm.
back in. So, yeah.
So really can. And, you know, even, and I love this because so often the old wives' tales or the old wives' sayings that we refer to are so true. You know, we should really give them a lot more credit. Things like, well, just sleep on it, right? Because sleep on it, you'll feel so much better in the morning, or you'll have the answer in the morning, or you'll have sorted it out overnight. And so often, you know, that really is the case. So, so sometimes we forget about that. Another type of dream is premonitions.
Yep.
So now this can be when we're actually dreaming of the future, and we can actually, in some instance, be foretold or forewarned about something that's going to happen. Like, it's actually quite important to remember those dreams, or even if we don't remember it, subconsciously we've already prepared for what's about to play out. So it's really interesting one. So Karen's saying she had a premonition dream a couple of weeks ago. So when it actually happened, I was, yeah, that's it, right? Exactly, 100%. And that's why we're given these premonitions. So, you know, sometimes that can go to an extreme. Like if you think about Edgar Casey, was always called the sleeping prophet because he got a lot of his spirit communication and prophecy of what was coming through his dreams. So he was known as the sleeping prophet. So quite often with a prophetic dream, you may dream it more than once, right? Yep. Because they're really wanting to embed something with you to remember. But again, it's really good to write down. And sometimes it can almost be like a deja vu, like that deja vu situation where you know what the person's going to say next. You absolutely know because you feel like you've been there and done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Esther, I have dream premonitions all the time. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. My nan used to have dreams. She didn't dream very often, but she would have a lot of premonitions. And her premonitions, she always used to say that they would come true either in 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 months, or 7 years. And I can tell you from personal experience because I was in one of her premonitions, in one of her dream premonitions. She told me about it, and I just sort of went, yeah, because I was a teenager at the time. Yeah, Nan. And I can tell you now, it definitely came true, and in the very, very, very similar format, and just the things sort of that she's seen. But all of her dreams that she's had usually come true within that time frame with the premonitions.
Yeah. So
very much so.
It's an interesting one because we are really tapping into our psychic gifts, but through our higher self, our subconscious mind, our spirit, our soul. So it's sort of where I'm leading into as we work through these ones. So, okay. Working dreams. You sort of talked about that, AJ.
I did.
You know, dreaming of performing a mundane task or something repetitive, right? So it's usually nondescript and it could even be a mental task. And it often lasts like an entire night. So you could even wake up during it, go back to sleep, and you'll be right back doing exactly what you were before. Yep. So these are, and sometimes in the morning you can wake up really tired because you've worked all night.
Yep.
You've just worked all night. And sometimes you don't even know what you're working on. Like, I don't even know what I was doing. I just know I was working really hard all night.
Yep.
I used to get in trouble for this one when I was a child. So my mum used to say to me, I would love to be able to somehow tap in and see what you're dreaming about, Kerrie. Because she'd come and wake me up in the morning and I'd say, well, Mum, I can't get out of this dream right now. I'm really busy. So, I need another 5 minutes. Hadn't finished what I was doing. I used to get in trouble for that all the time. So, sometimes these are really interesting ones. Has anyone else had that experience? So Esther's saying, I believe now they train me to understand how I now communicate with spirit through symbolism. Esther, that's a really interesting point because just as with anything else, as we talked to you, when you communicate, when you're seeing the same things, and we talk about journaling that, the same thing happens with a dream journal. So you can go to a dream dictionary, something like that, and AJ's got one there as well. Right? So you can look at a dream dictionary because there's so many different symbols.
Yeah.
But the symbol that comes up may not actually ring true to you.
No.
And so it's really important that, in using your dream journal and using your communication techniques where you get to know what those symbols are, that becomes your guide more than, say, a dream dictionary book.
Yep. Yeah. And that's because it makes sense to you. You're receiving the messages that you're supposed to receive in a way that you will be able to, even if not at that very point in time, but later down the track, you're able to actually make sense of it, because it's almost like, I know what this means. It's my own language, and therefore I interpret it and I understand exactly what it's meant. It's like when we interpret our cards, or when we, listen to message from spirit. It's the same thing. We put our own interpretation on it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why keeping a dream journal can really help with this. And Wendy's talking about she's had people that have passed come visit her and give her messages. Yep, that's exactly where I was going to next, Wendy. So spirit visitation. So you can be dreaming of a loved one or a friend or someone you know that has passed, and they may come to you within that dream. And sometimes it can happen, and I did put this in here because if you go through the psychologist books, they're going to tell you with psychology that this most often occurs when you've been missing that person, when you've had that person on your mind, right? So if you've been thinking about that person the previous day, then you might have a spiritual visit. But I'm going to put a spiritual spin on that, right?
Good.
Because yes, I'm sure there are times where just your dreaming mind, just your subconscious mind will replay a time when you've been with that person. But when they're coming and they're giving you information that's new, or they're sharing something with you that you didn't previously know, or just their presence there that's reassuring you that they're okay and that they're all right, I actually believe is a spirit visitation, because they try very hard to connect with us just day to day. But sometimes this, in your dream state, in that subconscious state where you're in your own spirit, and you're connected on a different realm in dream state, it's easier for them to come in and communicate with you. So they're going to take that opportunity to do that. And I still think that can happen, even if you've been missing them and thinking about them, because thoughts have vibration. And when you're thinking about somebody, you are actually tuning into their unique vibration, whether that be here in the physical realm or whether that be in the spirit realm. So in that, you are actually sending that energy out and drawing them and going, it's almost like a bell. Yeah, I can hear that, and it's stronger in spirit. I know that person's thinking about me, right? So I'm going to come in and reach out and let them know I am around. I do know what's going on. So I think that's important to recognize.
Would you hazard a guess also to say, Kerrie, that it's a lot less daunting when we get visited in our dreams? Because if someone just popped into our vision, we would go, and those who are not used to actually seeing people pop in or pop out, or hearing people talk to you, you might think that, oh dear, I may be losing my mind here. Whereas it's less confronting in a dream, because it's when your mind and your body and everything has had a chance just to go, to take that breath. And it's usually then when you're actually connecting better in that less, maybe say, fearful state.
Yeah, and I agree, AJ. I personally think that is 100% why it's easier, is you've actually removed the energy of fear. Or is this really happening, or is it not really happening, which just stops the connection and stops the flow. And if you go into a fear state, well, then you're going, straight into a lower vibration, which makes it almost impossible for them to communicate with you clearly. So I think that's, number one, why it's so easy, in that state. Yeah, and it is more personal. That's right, because it's an energetic connection. right? It's spirit to spirit communication in that state. Even though we may not even, in our dream be talking out loud, it doesn't matter. The telepathy's there. You still get the communication.
And both Wendy and Esther have said the same thing. It feels real when spirit visits, that you can remember the detail. And Gail was saying took you by the hand as well. So it's that physical touch as well.
Yeah.
That's very definite. I know that I've had experienced that as well, and it's like they're standing there with you. It's like you're holding that person's hand. It's like you're giving that person a hug. It's like they're actually there. And that's why, definitely that I believe that spirit is actually coming to see you in that less daunting atmosphere.
There also seemed to be one of the dreams that if you remember that straight away, it doesn't fade. And I think this is what Esther's saying. You remember every little detail, and you remember every little detail for years with those sorts of dreams. Like
Definitely.
it never sort of fades from you because it's so significant in the energy connection.
Yep.
It doesn't actually fade from you. Like I know when my brother Stephen passed, and it was a little while after he had passed, I had a dream about visiting him. And I still remember the dream so clearly, right? Like it happened last night. I remember it was a flying dream, and I'm going to talk about flying dreams soon.
Yeah.
It was a flying dream, and I remember flying up to this really bright star, going right at the star, right past the star and turning right, and going down into this most beautiful like garden area. So it was like entering the lower levels of heaven, I guess, where we're still allowed to connect. And I went in and I remember thinking, oh, that grass is so green and that sky is so blue. And anyway, I walk down, I see this pond, and there's a rainbow over this pond, and there's a waterfall going into it, and there was a giant willow tree. And I sat there under the willow tree talking to my brother.
Yep.
And I said to him at the time, well, you've got to come back with me because mum and dad, like, they think that you're dead, but you're not. You're fine, right? So you've got to come back with me and tell them that you're okay. They need to know you're okay because they're really distressed right now. And he sort of looked at me and went, I can't go back with you. You have to go back and tell them.
Yeah.
And I still remember that. In fact, I came back and I wrote a song about it because it was just so powerful, So those sort of dreams, where a spirit visitation dream is something that feels real, right? Definitely 100%. Feels like you're physically there with them. And it's something you just don't forget. Something that stays with you for many, 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 many years.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, hello, Les.
Hello,
How nice
Les.
to join us right in the middle of my story about our beautiful brother Stephen and visitation dreams. Thank you for jumping in. And happy birthday to Bubble Girl. That's lovely. Okay, so right, I'm trying to stay on track, guys. I'm trying.
Yes, better.
Okay, so reoccurring dreams. Now, when I'm talking about reoccurring dreams, it's like something you might dream today, or you might have dreamed it 6 months ago, and then today you're dreaming it again, right? And you may have dreamed about it 2 years ago, and suddenly this theme keeps coming up over a period of time. And quite often with those reoccurring dreams, it's like you've missed something, right? You've missed something in the message, or subconsciously in your subconscious spirit, you've sort of, if you think of like your experiences all being put in a filing cabinet. You filed it under the wrong thing. Right? So it's almost like repeating it, and it can be, months apart, because it's trying to get you to readjust your thinking when you are spiritually and subconsciously ready to see things differently, see it through a different window.
And with those reoccurring dreams, I like to think of it from the point of view that, okay, I haven't got the message the first time, comes back. I haven't got the message the second time, comes back. And it will just keep on coming back until I go, is that what it meant? Oh, I'm all right now. Then all of a sudden the dream stops. Like you don't have it. It's that moment of,
and it can also be an indication that it's actually going to be a premonition, because time is so linear in that you might have dreamt it and been warned about something, and now it's coming up and it's warning you again. So this one can actually link into premonition as well. So it's an interesting one.
It is. Dorothy says that she's never actually understood her dreams.
Yeah, and they can be so fragmented. Like if you think about just our language and how colourful our language is, and I think, AJ, the other day when we were chatting, I said something about, imagine taking out of the fry pan and into the fire and throwing that into your dreaming mind. Imagine what your dreaming mind could do with that.
Yep.
So some of that symbolism, again, is just getting to know what it is for you by putting it into your journals. And Gail said about having recurring dreams. Yeah.
Yep. It's important. Wendy, I know we saw Wendy said that she has to write hers down as well. I know that another friend of ours, Fern, does the same thing. And it is important sometimes that, because that's like, they're the messages that you're actually getting to pay attention to. There's a reason for it. So keeping a notepad and pen by your bed is actually a good thing.
It is. I know. Like, we keep bringing this up, particularly me. I'm always telling you, journal.
Journal, Kerrie.
Yes, good girl. That was a journal I just had to get for AJ, because it was all her colours with the blacks and the golds that match her favourite tarot cards. And so
it's written in.
Yay! I'm so happy about that.
That was actually a dream that I had that has linked up to tonight's live stream.
Well, there you go. Funny how these things work, isn't it?
I know, right?
Oh, dear. And reoccurring dreams and replay dreams, I've put these both together, because reoccurring can be the same dream over a long period of time. A replay dream could be something you did that day, and then you dream about it again that night. And that is a really good indication that with that one, you've missed something, right? There's something you were meant to pick up during an interaction with someone where you mightn't have been totally in the moment. You mightn't have been having that conscious conversation where you were, they were trying to give you the next bit of information or an opportunity, and you've just missed it. So replay dreams can also be about that as well. Yeah, sometimes we do need to see next chapters to the recurring dream. Yeah. Yep.
And that's maybe, and we'll talk about it a little bit later too, Dorothy. Sometimes what you need to do is actually have that intention, and Kerrie said it earlier, have that intention there to say, I really want to remember my dreams. If you're bringing me a message, if you're bringing me a dream, please help me to remember the important aspects that I need to know. So it's about communicating as well as you're going off to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But that very intense feeling, sometimes that could be premonition as well, Dorothy.
And you're right, Gail, sometimes it can be bringing moments in from previous lives, because we can carry our lessons over as well from previous lifetimes into this lifetime. Sometimes that our higher self or our guides are actually going to move us through a dream state where we can integrate that.
Yep.
So, yeah, definitely happens with the replay dreams.
Yep.
Back to that place and continue with the dream. Yes, I guess like I picked up exactly where I left off.
Yep. And we actually spoke about that earlier.
Yep. So, and so the dreaming, where we go to, I mean, the different, the theta wave and the beta wave and the alpha wave. So our different stages of sleep can be, on a subconscious level. We can go into our higher self. We can connect with loved ones and our guides and angels during that time. We can be refreshed on our purpose. So dreams, scientifically, they don't really understand totally what dreams are, or why we dream, right? There's still they can take some guesses around it, but it's so different for everybody that it's really not totally understood, So the best way to actually tap into the secrets that our dreams are telling us, because it is personal to us, So in tapping into that, that's really tapping into our journey, our purpose, our pathway, It's a way to keep track. And I think I have sort of said this before, that before we choose to have a human life, right, and animate this physical body, we might go, well, I really want to learn this, 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 and this. And then we hand that to our guardian angel, who does their very best to keep us on track with purpose, right? And, we should thank them a lot, right? Be very grateful for the task. Because meanwhile, there's something shiny, right? I'm distracted over here and I'm distracted over here. And sometimes that dream state is also about that reconnection, back on track. What was your purpose? Which path did you actually take? What were you learning through that time? So it can be really interesting.
Yeah.
And I might have jumped ahead. Okay, the falling dream.
Oh, yes.
Oh, dear.
This is an interesting one, isn't it?
Falling and flying. And it's very common. Falling is actually very common experience that people have reported. And you can feel yourself falling while you're dreaming. So it can indicate to you, as a falling dream, is that you have to let go of control, that you're controlling something too tightly and you just need to let go and do the free fall, right? And go with the universe, right? So it can certainly mean that. But I'm going to take you into another meaning for it as well soon. So hang on to that one. Right? And your flying dream, that can, from some perspectives, a feeling of liberation, a feeling of freedom, a feeling of nothing weighing you down. That whole flying dream can be amazing. But it also means that we could be astral traveling in our dream and going to a different realm, right? And that's possible as well. So flying, depending on what you remember through it, whether it's just the sensation of feeling free and being able to go and have a bird's eye view of things, picture of things as well. So flying dreams can relate to all of those sorts of things.
And sometimes, depending on how fast you're flying too, sometimes you can just be hurtling through or just taking a leisurely cruise. Sometimes it tells us a lot about maybe what we feel in our waking life.
Yes.
And it's a chance to go, okay, maybe I need to reassess it. Or I feel like I'm speeding through life without taking a breath, or do I actually need to actually stop, relax a little bit more?
Yeah, exactly. So they're the flying dreams. Okay, so now I didn't want to leave out daydreams.
Daydreams are great.
Because daydreams are also super, super important. That's when you are consciously awake, but you're also in a totally different space out the window. And I used to do that a lot at school. I think a lot of people used to do that. You didn't want to be in the classroom listening to the teacher drone on and on. You wanted to be outside. So you might be watching the birds out the window or also, but you're out there, it's almost like you're not physically here. You're in a totally different space. And daydreams are really important because it's that daydream and learning that visualization can really help you in your spiritual journey, right? To be in the moment, but also then with your meditations. So daydreaming is also a really good thing that crosses over into many areas of your spiritual development. So I didn't want to leave daydreams out.
No, daydreams are good.
Yeah. And lucid dream. There you go. Fiona saying, I lucid dream. No. Yeah, that's exactly what lucid dreams are.
Yep.
So they could be in a lucid dream. You may say to yourself, am I awake? Or you think that you have actually woken up and started to do something only to have your alarm go off and you're waking up all over again. Right? Or, it's interesting.
I used to lucid dream in black, white, and grey. And it was actually those, I know that I was dreaming, but it was like I was physically doing stuff, like I was physically awake and looking around and seeing things, but everything was black, grey, and white. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was it was quite interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. That is interesting. Like lucid dreaming, when we realize in our dream that we are dreaming, we can actually say to yourself, well, this is only a dream. The other thing is we get an opportunity to control and create within our dreams. Right? So when you're lucid dreaming, right, talk about instant manifestation.
Yeah,
it's a great time to be able to change the outcome or something, or test an outcome of something, right? By actually controlling your dreams during lucid dreaming.
Yep.
Okay, so just thought, because that one's such an interesting one and we get to be in control a little bit more. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right, Gail, it is. It's just between that sleep and wake state, both going to sleep and waking up.
Yep.
They are more common than people realize.
Yep.
Lucid dreaming. Is this real? Yep. Absolutely, they are. And so I like to call lucid dreaming conscious dreaming, because when I recognize that I'm awake in that dream, or I'm like, I am not awake, I am in a dream, right? Doing this in dreaming, then I like to go into what I call conscious dreaming, right? Which is, okay, now I can create. I can create the outcome to be whatever I want it to be, right? And be more recognized of what is my feeling or emotion at that time during the dream. What is it that I need to let go of or release? Or what do I need to see different? So this whole co-creation in that space. So there's a method called the RISC method, which can help you rewrite your dream when you're lucid dreaming. So obviously the first point is to recognize that you are actually dreaming, right? So that's the I am dreaming, I'm not awake, right? Yeah. You can then stop, identify what's going on and stop at that point to actually recognize what's going on, and then you can take control of what's going on in your dream. So IRSC method, it's called. So it's an interesting one. Okay. Now, nightmares. Now, of course, this is most common in younger children and teenagers, actually. And it can make you wake up feeling frightened, quite scared and frightened from nightmares. But sometimes a nightmare will come up because subconsciously you have a fear that you haven't faced.
Yep.
Right? And it's trying to help you face that fear. But it can also be just because you've refused to accept something, right? So it's helping that acceptance process. So that's being able to just release and let go. And yeah, exactly. Gail's just saying medical medium says that bad dreams can be healing. And really, that's what it's meant for. It's meant for going, is this fear a fear I should really have? Is this something I haven't faced or needs to let go of? Am I making something bigger than what it needs to be? And then it's reflected bigger than ever in your nightmare. So, yeah, Marani, that's the perfect thing to do, because in your dreaming is where you can rewrite it, and you can change so much that affects anxiety, panic, all of those things in your waking life if you can work through the nightmares that way and change the outcome. So it does definitely have a correlation between the two.
Can I throw something in here, Kerrie? And we all know that, I love my crystals. Can I tell you a perfect crystal to help with these types of dreams is tourmaline. So put tourmaline underneath your bed, or basically underneath your pillow, underneath your bed. And tourmaline will actually help you to feel like you're in control, assertion, and keep the scary bit, the things that make us feel anxious or frightened. Black tourmaline actually helps us to be able to move through that. It's, it's almost like our superpower. But the other one, and Gail's actually said about the angel of dreams, you can ask out loud for support. I was going to say one thing that I learned very early on was doing white light protection. And it's as simple as when you're laying in your bed, you lay in your bed, and you know what? You can even use the street light, you can use moonlight, you can use any sort of light source that's actually coming into your window, your room, your doorway, whatever. And you can ask for the protection of that white light to protect you from whatever it is that's making you feel anxious or frightened. And it's like filling up your entire house. So you fill up your entire being. So as you're laying there, you ask for the protection of white light, and you fill your entire being up with your white light, because we know where our white light comes from. We know where it's from. We know it's our higher protection. But then what we can do is we can also radiate it all around the room. So you can radiate it around your bedroom. You can almost do like a chalk line around your house. So you can imagine it filtering all through your house, so that you've actually got that protection against those feelings of anxiousness and fear.
Yeah, and I so agree. Like that protection and bringing that in and having that light. And that's why actually for children, I love the idea of a night light, right? Keeping that glow in the room. And I will say sometimes when I'm really, really tired and spirit or my guides want to communicate with me too much, I like a night light too, because it just I'll leave a light on too somewhere just to give that extra buzz. No, I really need some rest. Do it.
I have one in my hallway.
And yes, during full moons, dream activity is crazy. And lunar, right, meaning night, right, and light, right? Lunar is a soft light. Yeah, absolutely. And that's also the energy of the moon, right? When the full moon's in full moon, you're talking about the vibration that brings as well. So that can lunatic, if you think about that. Sort of
which is
where
why
the
our
words.
emergency services love full moons, because that's when we all of a sudden everything is so active, brain included, psychic abilities, everything ramped up to the nth degree. I'm sorry, I just read a comment from Wendy. And I know why Wendy doesn't have nightmares, because she says that she's quite argumentative in her dreams, which is highly unlike Wendy. I know it's so unlike you, Wendy. I don't find you argumentative at all, so I just don't believe that.
No, I don't either. You must find your voice in your dreams, Wendy.
That's exactly right.
Which is a good thing, which means you're releasing anything that you wanted to say that you didn't actually say. Okay, so when we were talking about falling dreams before, and I did say I was going to touch back on this, I also wanted to talk about that when you're just drifting off into sleep and then you have that falling and you actually feel the jolt, boom, back into your body. You can actually feel that jolt back in. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that one. So at night, right, when we are connecting with the spirit realms, so I'm going to try and explain it. What's the best way to show you like this, maybe?
Yep.
Okay, so if this is your physical body and your spirit is here, right, at fully aligned, sitting within your physical body, and you're always connected, that energetic connection is there, right? When you sleep, you can start to sort of lift off, right? You're going into the spirit realms to connect on a higher level. Can also relate to astral travel in our sleep, right? Where we're visiting different places. Could be here, could be in the spirit realms, could be different dimensions, right? Visiting loved ones. So our spirit can sort of lift up at a high vibration. We're always still connected to our bodies. But, right, if we are overtired, if we've been taking like a prolonged medication for a period of time, if we've been drinking alcohol, right, other sorts of drugs, though that can lower our energetic vibration, right? So what happens is, right, you can sort of go to lift off, but you can't actually get anywhere, right, because your vibration's too low. So you whack, right, straight back into your body again, and it is a jolt.
Yep.
Now, that can also happen if you are in that higher dimension, in that higher energy, and someone wakes you suddenly, and it's still a jolt back into the body, a shock back into the body. Now, when that happens and you're being woken up at that point, so normally when we feel that at night, we're just going to drift off to sleep. And whilst we're asleep, our physical body and our spirit sort of does a little shuffle and realigns again, right? So you're there. But if we get shocked awake, and I wonder if I've gone. Okay, yeah, I have. Like usual, I'm telling you all about this. I've forgotten I've got even slides here. And I think I'm up to this one, right? So, so what happens if you're shocked awake and you get that film? You can actually feel like, oh, I don't feel quite right, or I don't feel 100% here, or I don't, like, I know I'm here, but I don't feel quite right. And that's because your spirit's slightly out of alignment with the physical body, right? And it can take
confusion, isn't it?
It is. Like, I know I'm here, but I'm a bit spaced out. I'm not totally here. Well, it can take all day, right, for that shuffle to take place, to realign. So you can sort of feel out of sorts all day. But if you can go back to sleep, even for a short period of time, and wake up again, you can realign really quickly. So that's a trick if you're ever in that situation. Just a quick nap will allow everything to sort of realign where it needs to be, right? So, and that can occur for multiple reasons. But if you ever have that sort of, and you feel that jolt in, if you're going back to sleep through the night, you're all good. If it happens from a shock, there's a little trick. Or even do a breathing technique and take yourself on a short meditation and, take yourself into the light and bring yourself back into centering and grounding in your body. That will also help to realign you really quickly. So there you go. So they're those ones. How are we going for time? Oh, my goodness. Okay, I'm going to speed up now.
Okay. I was just going to say, we might be being naughty.
We are. I'm being very naughty. And this was to keep me on track. Guys, there's so many symbols when you dream, and everyone has a different idea of what they mean, So like a house can refer to your identity, but it can also refer to safety and sanctuary, right? So it's really important to think about what it is, where you are, what's really standing out to you in the dream, and how you feel about it. Right? And those three things, putting those three things together, if you can write it down and look back at it, is really going to unlock some hidden secrets between your higher self, your subconscious, your guides, your angels, and your waking journey. So I won't be able to go into all of these at the time. Like there's some really common ones, like dreaming, that your teeth are falling out, right? That can be like a loss of wisdom. It can also be growing up because we lose our teeth. So you're letting go of a part of you and you're moving into something else. So depending on the context in which this is occurring can give you the hints as to what that symbology actually means. So there's lots and lots of things in there. In the little handout I give you, and we'll send this out to everyone who's on our mailing list. If you're not on our mailing list, you can join that by going to angelfeathersspiritualsanctuary.com, our website, .com.au, on our website. And if you sign up for our newsletter, then you'll automatically receive any handouts and free things that we give away as part of our lives. So you'll see all these meanings and everything in those slides. Water is a really interesting one because it can come into so many different areas. It can be going with the flow. It can be releasing. It can be cleansing. It can be, water also represents emotion as well. So how you're feeling about things. So everything can have multiple meanings, and you'll see these in there. Now, sometimes the best way to do this, and I'm going to say this again, is your dream journal. Yes. Keep a dream journal. Now, in the little handout that I'm going to give you, this is just how I've sort of laid out my dream journal with the things I sort of ask myself when I'm going through that. And you can adapt it any way that you like, but it just gives you some heading topics, some dot points. What did I feel? Where was I? What stood out to me? How did I feel during it? Did I get a clear message? All those sorts of things. What sort of dream was it? So that just gives you a little bit of an idea there. And this one's just a little bit bigger. So it'll talk about what type of dream you can see there, what the message was, how I felt about it, how I think I've interpreted it. What do I think it actually means to me? Yeah. So it's just a way to go through that. So sweet dreams, everybody. Sweet dreams are made of this. Start tapping into those things. Start tapping into your own symbology and your feelings. And it can be a great link into your waking life, giving you inspiration, creativity. Some of the absolute best inventions have actually come out of dreams as well. People have dreamt it before they've created it. There you go, AJ. I'll stop talking now.
Can I add, for anyone who wants to try and work a little bit more with their dreams, and that's why we're going to start our dream journals, so we can be number one for Kerrie's class. I've actually got some crystal suggestions for those of you who know I love my crystals. I've got some crystal suggestions for you to assist with your dreaming. As you know, amethyst is one of our big favorites. Amethyst is awesome for dreaming. Clear quartz is great, as well as Hermica diamonds. So I've actually got little Hermicas that I wear, but they're my white light. They're what I call my white light, but I wear them all the time. Lapis lazuli is a great crystal for dreaming as well. Rainbow moonstone, when you think about it, moonstone, we're talking about the moon, so that actually helps us, but we're looking at rainbow moonstone, which is great. Azurite is also really good for dreaming as well. And even though they say that you shouldn't wear moldavite to bed, moldavite you can have sort of beside your bed as well. And it's actually really good for dreaming as well, because it's actually it's such a, moldavite as a crystal itself is so out there, up top, vibrational. it will actually help with your dreaming as well. With Moldavite, though, I would say don't put it right next to you if you're brand new with working with Moldavite, because it backs a punch.
My energy is so high that if I have Moldavite, I can't sleep. AJ,
no, Kerrie, Moldavite is not for you.
Impossible.
Yeah. They're just a few of the ones that I find are really good. I've got lepidolite in my room as well. I've got the clear quartz. I've got the Esther. Do you know what? The first time I put my Moldavite on, I accidentally forgot about it when I lay down. And it took me all of about 2 minutes to go, okay, I've got to settle down and take this off. It's just too much. Now that I've gotten used to it, we're fine.
Once you connect to it, I think you're okay. But
it packs a punch. I don't sleep with it. I put it on my bedside table.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining in on our topic tonight, and also chipping in and sharing your experiences too, with all the different dream types. We will send out the information about that as well. I might even ask AJ if she wouldn't mind just sending me a message around those crystals, because I'll add it in, AJ, because I think that's so awesome. You know, what do we have? What is suitable for beside the bed? You know,
I can do that. That's not a problem.
So where's come? So guys, what we're going to do is we're going to just do a quick draw with the cards for the collective. Now, if you haven't already, please like this stream. Please, if you haven't subscribed or you don't follow us on Facebook, please do that. You'll also find AJ Sunshine Daisy. Please subscribe to our beautiful AJ also. You'll also find us on YouTube as well. So, and a huge thank you again to our top contributors every single time on YouTube who actually jump in there, watch different things and give us a comment on there. And that's Wendy and Karen. You two are amazing, right? I just love you guys. Always in there supporting us on YouTube as well. So thank you so much for that. If you know of someone that might benefit from this information who wasn't on here live with us, please share the stream with them. We don't ask for much on this channel, but, you know, just liking, commenting, sharing, all that just supports us so much, and it lets us know you're actually enjoying our content as well. So, AJ, have you got your cards?
I do. And Wendy, you'll be pleased to see they are your favourites, because they're my favourites as well. And funny, I was shuffling them and I had 3 cards jump out straight away, and they are they always get in tune to whatever topic we're in, and they literally came flying out of this. The first card that actually came out was Get Curious. Now, this is absolutely brilliant because we want to get curious about our dreams. We want to got this information from a hairdresser. Dorothy, I know exactly who you are. And thank you for joining us. So the cards that I've actually got for tonight are Get Curious. So start really paying attention. Start getting interested. Start working out, well, why do I feel this way? What is this message that I'm supposed to have? Why am I seeing the things that I am? If you're not remembering your dreams, it's about asking the questions. Can you please slow it down, or can you please put it in a version that I can actually understand? So it's all about asking those questions and working out the whys behind it. Second card that came flying out for me as well, all 3 of these came out at the same time, is movement. Now, I find movement very interesting from the point of view that sometimes some of us have, you know, we see certain things in our dream, and I know why this one movement card actually came out for me, because I regularly dream about big snakes, and they're in my bed usually. But what we need to do is, A, we're getting curious, but B, movement is about moving forward. It's about learning, and it's about being able to cast away the stuff that no longer serves us or we don't need to be hanging on to. So once again, our subconscious does a fantastic job of telling us what we need to hang on to and some of the things that we can probably let go and work our way through, because we need to continue to go forward. We don't gain anything by going backwards. That's why you don't usually see snakes going backwards. They always make that movement forward to be able to begin to refresh, to actually shed the old skin, to be able to start again. And the last card that I have is Ask Body. Now, this is really important because it's about, and what we've been talking about tonight, it's about us listening to our body. It's about being able to listen to what my inner self, what my psychic self, what my guides, what my angels, what my dreams are actually telling me. Why am I feeling the way that I am? Why am I getting the messages? Why am I having particular sensations, like Kerrie was saying about teeth? Sometimes, we feel things like that. We see things like that and we go, well, hang on a tick. I'm feeling like I can't talk. I can't express myself. So pay attention to what your body's actually telling you as well. Did I wake up and go, geez, I feel fantastic? Maybe it's your angel actually come to give you a bit of lighthearted joy. Message for me for the moment is start asking some questions, keep going forward and getting rid of the stuff that doesn't suit you anymore, and really pay attention to what you're being told. And they're mine for tonight.
I was going to give you a quick interpretation of what a snake means, but there are so many interpretations depending on the context that I'd have to actually go through a whole lot of them. Snakes can also represent death and rebirth, by the way, like shedding something, growing to the next stage. It's not always a negative thing. But if you're feeling anxious during it, then it could be about an anxiety that you have, right? So, it can be a bit different depending on what you're looking at there. So,
the reason why Ask Body has come out, how am I feeling? So
correct.
Paying attention, as you've just said, Kerrie, paying attention to, what my body's actually telling me. Yeah.
And look, I 4 dropped and 2 of them were stuck together. And it's interesting, the 2 that stuck together. So I'm going to give you them both together at the same time. Into me, there you go. Into me, I see.
Pretty.
And healing the heart. So again, about the topic, and when my guides step in on these 2, it's really into you on a spiritual level. What are you actually seeing? What are you actually feeling? It's also a really good way to release things that are no longer serving you. Let those things go. See things from a different perspective, using your dream life to do that. And it's great for healing the heart, right? So it's a great place to subconsciously heal, because really that's where the deepest healing takes place, is when it's healing on a subconscious level. Then we can release things and let them go. The other thing that then came out was it's a burst of magic. And it is, because we were talking about lucid dreaming, taking control, doing all that co-creation, right? Stepping into that magic that dreaming really can be, and the magic of the secret messages that we're actually trying to tell ourselves from the dreams, the hints and the ideas that we're so busy in waking life that we miss things, that they're coming through during our dreaming life. And the 4th one, awaking genius. Now, we sort of touched on this. Some great discoveries and ideas have come through the sleeping mind, right? Waking up and solving that problem, having the idea of how things can actually work and move through things. So tapping into your dreams for a waking genius as well. So there you go, guys. Have fun with your dreams, because look, all this is ahead. We can let some stuff go. We can heal our heart. We can bring in some magic into our lives and start creating and manifesting instantly in our dreams, and we can awaken some genius. Yeah, exactly.
I love how our cards, how they always talk to each other. Doesn't matter what we do.
I know. See, there's a bit of magic in itself. All the beautiful synchronicities. Yes, Gail, I use the 7 energies cards because everything's frequency and vibration, and particularly in our sleep state, when you think of the different brain waves, we're actually really connecting into those different frequency and vibrations. So that's why I think I was really drawn to the energy cards tonight. Okay. Well, thank you, my beautiful AJ, for being my co-host with me and chatting away tonight. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for the invite. I love spending time with people who mean so much for me, and I just absolutely adore coming on and spending some time with you, Kerrie, and everybody. So thank you for having me. Very much enjoyed myself.
We love having you. We love having you. And thank you, Bubble Girl, for keeping up all the messages. We really, really appreciate all you do behind the scenes. And happy birthday again for last week. And, of course, AJ and I would just be sitting here talking to ourselves if it wasn't for every one of you that join us each week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to all the new people. We hope you follow us and come back and join us again. We do this every fortnight. And thank you to all our beautiful regulars, our beautiful soul family that's just here with us week on, week out, every fortnight that we have a show. Thank you to all of you. So have a fantastic fortnight. Annie will be back with us again for the next show. And
with a Canadian accent.
And have fun. Yeah, that's it. See if the Scottish has changed to Canadian when she comes back. US. All right. So good night, everybody. Have a great couple of weeks.
Bye.